Rafael Nadal, welcome to the program.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really good, but how are you? Because we hear lots of stories about what's happening in Australia. Obviously a very successful but severe lockdown there in the country. How is it affecting you? What's it been like over the last 2 weeks?
Well, of course, it's a different situation than usual. No, it's much more sad for everyone. But at least we are here, and we're gonna have the chance to play here the Australian Swing, and the world is suffering in general. No, so we can't complain. We only can say thanks to Tennis Australia, to the Australian community to welcome us, and to accept us to come, because I know they have been under very strict measures for a lot of months. Yeah, for us is good at least that we can keep playing tennis.
Rafael, you say we can't complain. You're very, very philosophical, and you've always had a pretty interesting view on what players do and say publicly. So what do you say about some of the players that are complaining? For instance, particularly those who've had to stay in quarantine and can't even get out to practice.
Well, of course, have been a tough situation for 72 players, I think, plus their teams, coaches. Yeah, of course, it's not the ideal situation, and of course, I feel very sorry for all of them. But when we came here, we knew that the measure is going to be strict, because we knew that the country is doing great with the pandemic. Australian probably is one of the best examples in the world how they react through these very challenging times. So I mean, it's normal to complain in some way, but in the other hand, when you have a little bit wider perspective of what's going on the world, well, you have to think and say, well, okay, I am not happy to be 14 days in my own room without having the chance to practice, to go out, to do my normal preparation for a tournament. But in the other hand, you see how many people is dying around the world. You see how many people are losing their father, their moms, without having the chance to say goodbye. Is a real thing. That's what's happening in my country, for example. And close people to me are suffering these situations. So when you see all of this, you have to stay a little bit more positive.
So let me ask you, because again, it's almost like a military operation. You're in a hotel. You do get to go out and practice a few hours. But what's it like? Who are you seeing? What is a daily routine like for you right now, Rafa?
Well, for me, it's depends. We have 3 periods of practice. For example, today have been from 7:30 in the morning through 11:30 to go out. Another time is between 12:30 to 4:30, and the other one is 5:30 to around 10. No? So we practice for around 2 hours 15 every single day. Try to stay positive. I feel that we are privileged people today, having the chance to keep doing our jobs.
I have to say, it's really great to hear you staying positive and to really giving the world a positive message. I want to ask you, because you've won 1 Australian Open so far. You've won 20 titles now. You're equal with Roger Federer. And you were it was poignant when you won the last French Open, and the conversation between you and Federer, and how he praised you immediately and said this is the greatest, sports achievement. Talk to me a little bit about that, about where you are and this ongoing competition? Because he said it's almost great to have this competition because you both push each other to more and more heights.
Well, it's true that we have been here for such a very long time now. Since 2005, we are competing, and of course, I am very proud and happy to be part of this momentum of our history, of our sport. No, so be part of this. Of these years, I'm happy. I shared a lot of good experiences, and I was able to live things that I never dreamed about. So just thanks to tennis, to the tennis, I was able to travel to places that I never expected, to know a lot of people. And in terms of tennis, I always try to do my way. You know, I just try to try my best every single day. That's all. No, and just try to be better player. Go every day on the practice court with a goal to improve something, and that's my approach to my tennis career. No, of course, for me the records are important. Of course, I am a competitor, but I have never been obsessed about trying to be the best, or no. I just have been focused on trying to give my best in every single moment. No, and then if that gives me the possibility to compete for the most important things, or for the things that I want to compete, great. But for me, the main thing is come back home after every season and say, okay, I am proud that I did everything that I could.
So you're happy and you're content.
Yes. Oh, I you know, honestly, I did much more than what I ever dreamed, in my tennis career. So of course, will be amazing for me to win one more, and to be at the end of my career, to be the player with more Grand Slams. But you know what? I know that will not be the key for my happiness in the future. No, so just is something about trying every single day, or in every tournament that I'm gonna compete. But for me, it's not an extra pressure, and it's not an obsession. No, I just keep going, doing my way. If that happens, fantastic, of course. But if not, I am more than happy about everything that happened to me.
So that must be a real weight off your shoulders, not to have this obsession. I just want to ask you one more question about individual competitors, because I kind of remember way back when John McEnroe had that amazing rivalry with Bjorn Borg, and it's quite famous that he said he was sad that Borg retired, and that he felt that he didn't have the opportunity to keep that incredible rivalry up. So just the rivalry between you and Federer, which is generally looks friendly anyway on the outside, and Djokovic as well. I just wonder how you describe the dynamic, the personal and the professional dynamic.
Well, have been I think a positive rivalry. No, honestly, I always had a great relationship with most of the people and most of my competitors on tour. That's honestly that's how I feel. No, and that's the truth. No, and with both of them, with Novak and Roger, I think we always had a good relationship, a lot of respect. I think we did beautiful things together and important things for our sport. And in terms of professional tennis career, I think we push each other to be better. Have somebody in front of you that is doing a lot of things better than you, gives you a clear way about what you need to improve to achieve your goals. No, and that's what happened, I think, between Roger and I at the beginning. Then a little bit later with Novak, I enjoyed the challenge to try to be very competitive against everyone.
And I'm not going to ask you about when you're going to retire or what or whatever. But you are, because I know you're not going to tell me. And anyway, it's an irrelevant question.
No, I can't tell you because I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's an irrelevant question. So, but I want to know, do you think about what might happen post-competition? Do you have a vision of your life after competition?
Yeah, yes. It's something that it never worried much to me. I am not happy in my personal life away from tennis. No, I have my foundation that is growing, and of course will be important. Will be an important part of my future. So I want to take care more about my foundation that what I can do today, and of course I have my academy, the Rafael Nadal Academy, that is growing too. We have different centers around the world.
You know, we've talked a lot about tennis, but we've also talked about, you know, the things that you think about and, you know, say outside of tennis. And this year, many tennis players, let's say Naomi Osaka and others, along with LeBron James, along with just many sports people, have really put their mouth out there for defending racial injustice and, you know, even gender injustice and the like. Where do you see your role as a sportsman, as a high profile, you know, role model on some of these issues?
Well, I think we as an athletes or as public persons, I think we have a responsibility, of course. No, and I think for us is, in my personal opinion, we for us it's mandatory to be a positive example for the society, you know, and it's important to send the right message to the right messages to the world, and especially to the young people. So for me, what we have to say, or what we don't have to say, we need to think it before, because a lot of people are putting their eyes on what we are doing.
And I've spoken to Andy Murray and I've spoken to Billie Jean King about the potential merger of the women's and the men's tour, and even Federer talked about it. Even you seem to be supportive at one point. Do you still think that that's going to happen? Is it a good idea? Should it happen?
What's going to happen or what not going to happen, I have no idea, because is in this world it's difficult to predict what's going on. Tennis is tennis, and why not in the future we have one organization for both men and women? Why not? For the moment, I think the tennis is healthy how it is, without a doubt. I think no one other sport in the world is as equal as tennis in terms of prize money, or in terms of treatment to the men and women tour. So I feel that we as a sport, we should be happy about, because I think we are a positive example for the West.
Are you going to be taking part in any of the tournaments just before the February 8th start of the Australian?
Well, yes, we are playing the ATP Cup.
Yeah.
In Melbourne. I think starts the next Tuesday. So let's see. I am not used to play the week before the Grand Slam. Honestly, I think I never did. But this year is a special year. So let's see how I manage, how much I will be able to play or not.
Can I ask you, you know, a lot of your fans, and obviously you've talked about it a little bit, notice, even if we're watching on television, we notice your rituals and routines on court. And I'm fascinated by it. I mean, you know, whenever you serve and you touch your nose and your hair and your shorts and the bottles and all of that stuff, and you walk, you know, around the lines in a particular way. What is that all about?
That's all about, in some way, is stupid. in the other hand, for me, I am not doing no one of this stuff when I'm practicing or in my normal life. But when I am competing, and in the tennis, in our sport, we compete a lot of days, you know, and you know, it is in some way is a way to to make a difference between practices and matches. And when I am doing all these routines, I feel 100% focused on what I am doing. No, so it's an extra focus, and probably these routines when you are playing a lot of matches per year and for such a long time, I think the routines in some way help you to be focused or to be under self-control, to feel more secure about yourself.
That makes sense. Can I ask you though, again, you get this probably all the time, but when you've done this for so long, as you say, since 2005, winning all these titles, you reach such a massive level. Everybody at the top of their game has to talk about motivation and what keeps, in no matter what profession it is. What is the motivation for you now?
Australian Open. That's my
Okay.
That's my motivation now, but in a wider perspective, my motivation is I like what I'm doing. I like to play tennis. I like the competition. I know it's not forever. I know the sport. When you get to some age, it's so difficult. So I know I am in this last part of my career, because I have 34 and a half. I would love to have 24. And I am enjoying, honestly, 10 years ago, I never thought that I will be where I am with 34. No, so I enjoy. It's an opportunity for me to keep going. I suffered injuries during my career, and I feel very lucky to be where I am today and having the chance to keep doing what I am doing and keep being very competitive. So just accept that and say thanks to life for these great things that are happening to me, and just keep going with the right attitude.
Fantastic. Rafael Nadal, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks a lot, Christian.